Hello everyone, good evening. In today's video we are going to discuss about AutoCAD complete tutorial. Over here we are going to discuss about basic overview and what is the meaning of DWG file and DWT file, that is drawing file versus a drawing template file. And then we'll be discussing about graphic settings and reset options, and also we'll be discussing about drawing toolbars and basic commands and function keys. So let's enter into the topic by using AutoCAD. So over here we are using AutoCAD 2024 version. So once you open AutoCAD 2024 version, your screens will be getting the same way. Over here the observed things is new and file menu and home buttons, that is tab buttons, and the recent views which you are using, and also some latest updates or information regarding your AutoCAD and community forums discussions will be announced here. Right, so let's start with part. So enter to new file. So once you open the new file, you will first identify the grid lines which is available on the screen, and then you might be seeing here that is your menu bars. So over here the notable things is the menu bar which is available here right now, and these are the home buttons. Then again you can see the title of your drawings and certain tools, that is the layer managers and toolbar options, drawing toolbars options are available over here. And also you will be seeing about the axis, X and Y axis, and model layout options are available at this point. And you will be seeing about the grid lines options, and some of the functional option and snap nodes options are available over here, so which I will be explaining in part. Okay, so once you enter to this part, what you want to understand here, so click on this part. So once you click on this option, you can see there is a hide menu bar and show below the ribbon bars, and also certain cases we see this. So when you click hide menu bar, so immediately you see the file edit menu option has been hidden. So click this, so you can see this menu bar. So once you click, you will able to see file, edit, view, insert, format, all these things. So what is the use of this is basically when you use to have some tools like options for graphic settings. For that we need to use this toolbars, and also for formatting any kind of text style dimensions we can have this. So this is the additional option which is available in AutoCAD. So you can hide this when it is not required. Right. So once you enter to this part, over here you can see home, insert, annotate, parametric, view, manage, output, and add-ins, and collaborate, express tools, and featured apps. So these are some inbuilt-in tabs which is available in AutoCAD. So we are going to start with the basic overview. So what is the basic overview? Once you enter to the AutoCAD, you can see this is called your workspace area. So this we call it as a workspace area, and at the left bottom corner you can see that is your model and layout options are available. And over here you can see this commands. So when you apply commands, so what are the options you are working or whatever you are doing it, so that will be reflecting in the commands. So you should be clear about the commands when you use some shortcut commands or function keys. So this will be helpful for identification of what command you are using in AutoCAD. And fourth, you should be aware about some function keys as well as some drawing aid tools, that is like ortho, snap node, trim commands, or midpoint. All this is applicable in this fourth point, that is to control your object snap nodes, called the settings. And then here is a point where you see fifth point, that is for setting your drawings. So you are right now in 3D screen or basic model screen or drafting annotations that we can control over here. Right. So these are notable things. On the top side, when you go on to the top side, you can see something like that is your line, polyline, circle, arc. So drawing tools are available over here, and these are some modified tools. So trim, array, and rotate, mirrors. So these are some modification tools bars which is available in AutoCAD. And next you want to know about annotations. So annotation and dimension is used to type your text or to measure your dimensions or multi-leaders. So for that we use annotation. And the most important point is that is your layer manager. So when you go for layer manager, you'll be use a many number of lines and types of lines and different colors we'll be using. So this will be highly useful when you make a plan and when you execute some sketch using AutoCAD. So layer manager will be highly useful for it. The next, which you use all about blocks and attributes. So you have some family blocks, you want to insert that furnitures or any kind of equipments or drawings, that you can bring it as a block and you can insert in the drawing part. Then you have some property toolbars which can be helpful for you to modify or edit by using the match properties or similar lines you have drawn. You can use some match properties and make your drawings very easy. The next over here, that is called group. So over here, group is nothing but when you have the various collection of lines or some kind of objects, you can make a grouping. So certain example like walls of same size or walls of same thickness you have, you can use to this in under called group categories. Then certain utility tools are there. So what is this utility tools? Like revision clouds, or you want to go for some point styles. So over here we have these utilities. And next you have a clipboards and view options. So you can modify the different types of views and copy paste commands using this clipboard tools. Right. So these are the notable things for making a first understanding about the overview of AutoCAD. Now let's go for the concept called DWG and DWT. So what is this DWT and what is this DWT? So let me explain. So DWT file is basically a drawing template. So when you go for a DWT, so DWT is called your drawing template. So what is this drawing template? So drawing template is your user settings. So suppose you want to set certain units like meters or or feet. So that is the user settings. So every time you don't want to repeat it again. So drawing templates will help you to save your time. So example, you are working in units of a meter. Okay, so you're using in meter and certain font styles you're using. So you're using some set of font style or arrow size or some layer colors, layer managers, that is types of lines. So these are some kind of options which you are using, which can be used for repeated number of drawings. So you want to use the same for n number of projects, then you need to save this as a part of drawing template. I will show you a demo in the next part. So next, what is called DWG. So what is called DWG? So DWG is nothing but it's basically a drawing file. So this is a drawing file where you can use to share the file to n number of users or any other person. We save the file in form of DWG file. So here the settings will be varied. So once you open a drawing file, you need to repeat the settings again and again. So the settings are not fixed over here. So let me explain practically how this is work. So first of all, we are going to deal with DWG file. So once you see, presently we are in drawing 2 file, and when you save this file, it will go automatically for DWG format. So you can see that it goes in form of drawing file, DWG format. Over here you can also change the versions of AutoCAD, which your version. So 2004 or 7 or latest one, you can go for 2018 and DWG file. So this will be saved as a drawing file. So whatever the drawing file, you can see these are all drawing file. Right. Now once you save this, it will be opened again. Now let me do a basic setting and then I will teach you what is drawing template. So in order to start with your AutoCAD, so there are few basic steps which you want to understand. So what are the basic settings that you want to follow in AutoCAD? So first is units. second is called limits, third is called your text, then fourth you have dimensions, then fifth you have leaders if required. Okay, so these are the things, and again same limits, if required you can use it. So what is units? So units is basically in which scale you are going to draw. So the units is basically deals with the scale, which scale you are drawing, writing. So meter or mm or in centimeters or in feet or in inches. So this is the option which you can use a scale length, that is which dimensions you are going to use, meter, millimeters or centimeters or feet or inches. So limit is nothing but boundary. So which boundary you are going to use. So fixed sizes of boundary. So within that boundary or within the limits, your lines will be visible. Beyond the boundary limit, the lines will not be visible in any case. Right. The next is text dimension and text and dimensions. Over here, we are going to use some user style. So example text or font size, or like example you want to go for Times New Roman. So you can go for Times New Roman, or you can go for txt file. So these are some kind of font style. So this is nothing but basically a font style. So that we need to create with text, and also we need to give for font size. So what is your font size that is going to work? Then dimension is basically for your arrowheads. So when you go for arrowheads, so to mention like this example, so with arrowhead 5 meter. So this way we want to show the dimensions in drawing, then we need to create a dimensions again. So next, leader is nothing but a single arrowhead marks. So leader is basically used for a kind of a single option. So with single arrowhead, you can write here whatever the wall like this. So the text will be appearing with the leader option. There is also called multi-leaders. So there is also called multi-leaders. So what is called multi-leaders? N number of arrows. So simultaneously you have 2, 3, 4. You want to show something, a sketch like this. So over here you can show these are some kind of options with multi-leaders, right? So let's do this practice now. Go back to AutoCAD. So first command which you want to use is UN, that is called units. So click on units. So immediately you get the units displayed on your drawing sheet. So here is a part which should be focus, the length and also the scale. So as I said, which scale you are going to use, accordingly we need to use it. So there are certain kind of length types, that is architectural, decimal, engineering, fractional and scientific. So we basically use a decimal, architectural and engineering. So how to understand this with respect to scales? So if you have scale, you have different types of scales are here. So millimeters, centimeter, meters, or kilometers, feet and inches. So how to match this and over here? So you have to understand that. So if your length type, you are using architecture or some kind of engineering, okay, so you are going to use this kind of part, then go for scale as a feet or inches. You can go for feet or inches. I am repeating again, when you are working with length, the type as architectural, or you are typing with engineering, then go for feet or inches. That is the best way to use. So if you are making in feet and inches, then keep it in architectural, then keep a feet. So this way we can make a drawing. Now next part, if you are choosing the length type, as decimal, then preferable scale can be meters or millimeters or you can go for centimeters. So this is the option which you need to understand how to set the length and scale over here, right? So going back, so if you are choosing a decimal, then change this to millimeters or centimeters or your meters. So this way we can choose it. Next, precisions is nothing but decimal points. How much decimal points you need to know. So 0.0 or 0.00, 0.00. So it depends on the decimal values how much you need. So preferably I'll go with 2 decimals if required, or single decimals also can be used, right? So these are the basic setting I have done with the decimals, meters, and 2 decimals done. Okay, now click OK. So we're done with the first part, that is units. Now second step, as I explained already, the limits. So now we want to know about limits. What is limits? So limits is nothing but how much space is required to draw your diagram or some sketch. So in order to know that limits, go back, type LLMITS limits. So you get the limits command. So immediately you can see this limits command. So it was available on the bottom. So here it shows you specify the lower left corner. So 0, 0 is the value. So starting point, it shows the 0, 0. So what is this 0, 0? So that is the starting point I want. So just press enter. Once you press the enter, immediately it will show you specify the right upper corner. So by default, the values of that is 420.00 and 297.00. So how to understand this? So just go back. So how this limit is going to work? So limits are working on this aspect, that is diagonal corners. So it takes the diagonal corner. So imagine this is a boundary and this is your left corner, left bottom corner. So it measures at diagonal values. It goes as a diagonal value. So what is your left corner? We give it as 0, 0. It moves in diagonal direction, that is X direction, and then it takes in Y directions. So now when you give the next point right top corner, so when it asks you right top corner, it takes both the values of X and Y. Example, if I give 50 meter, 50 meter, then I press enter. So it makes a boundary. Now our limit will be 50 meter by 50 meters. This is called limits. So I can draw 50 meter in X direction, 50 meter in Y direction. So this is my limits. So whatever you draw, it will be available in 50 meter by 50 meters. So my units is in meter. So if you draw anything within 50 meter by 50 meter, it will be available. So these are the things which should be limits. And you can also turn limits on and off. So you can also use limits on, or you can turn it off. So let's show you that. So go there. So if you give 50, 50, so the limit is set for 50, 50. So that is a 0, 0 is the left corner, and 50, 50 is the right top corner. So the limit is 50 meter in X direction, 50 meter in Y direction. Suppose I don't want to use the limits, just type limits, just put off, type off. Now immediately you can see limit is off. So you can see limit is off now. There is no limits. So we can draw n number of boundless. So no boundaries are fixed here. Next part which you want to understand is all about text. So what is text? So text is basically to create a styles. So how to do this? So let's show you that. So go here to annotate tab. So you can go to the annotate tab. Over here at the corner you can see text style. So click on the text style. So once you click on the text style, the text style manager gets open. Over here you can see standard part. Now I'm going to create my new text style. Click on new, give your name. So I have given my name over here and click OK. Once you click OK, you can see this is currently active. So current text style is my name, and my whatever the user is going to give, that is going to be implementable in the AutoCAD, right? So I'm taking my name as my text style. So here I can choose Times New Roman, just type TIM, so we can identify Times New Roman. Click on Times New Roman. The next part which you want to know is all about font style. So what style you want, you need a bold or you need italic or regular. So I prefer regulars. And height. Now this is the part. So what is the height of your text? So presently our diagram is in meter. So how much meter height your text is? So imagine the text style. So over here, now text style works on. So remember, annotate tab. Over there we have a text style. You can go for there. Now first option is your new, then give your name, username. After that you understand how to give a text style, so that is font style, and then you need to know about font height. So what is your font height? So this font height related to your units. So font height basically, if you are in meters or if you are in feet or inches. So in meter, if you're dealing, so start from 0.25, okay, you can try with 0.30 or 0.4 also, or the least 0.12 or 0.16. so like this it works. The font height whichever you feel to give, 0.1, 0.16, 0.18, preferably I go for 0.18, probably it will be a best part, and you can also try for 0.20 also, right? If you're working in inches, so according to inches, so this will be like, if you're dealing with inches, so this deals with 6 inch or 9 inch, or even you can go for 7 inches. So like this it will work. So preferably I go for the 6 inch or 8 inch fonts. So this comes in practice, what is the size you're observing on your screen. So this is how your font height is working with respect to the scale which you are using in your drawing. Okay, so now go back again. So let's give our height as 0.18. I'm just going to give a 0.18. So what is this annotate is, this is a size which will be matched to your orientation of layouts. So whatever the size you are choosing, it will match with your orientation of your diagram. So that way we can use this. If you want to do the matching of your font size, you can do this with annotative. So once you click it, you can see a blue color sign over here. So that is called annotative. So right, so next part which you want to know, apply this. Now set current and check your name is currently available in the style, and then apply and then close it. So third step is done. So next part which you want to know is all about dimensions. So what is this dimension, how it is going to work? Let's see that. Go back to here again, annotate. In the dimensions you can see again arrow, a dimension style manager get open. So over here we are going to do the same kind of step, that is new. Once you click on new, give a name again to the dimension style manager and click continue. So once you get continued, you can see the line style and different options are here. So that is your line style, and you can see symbols, then text, then fit, and we go for primary units, and also we have alternative units. So these are the 5 things which you should be noted in the your dimension manager: lines, symbols, text, primary units, and alternative units. After that, which you want to know is all about your set of options. So over here in the line managers, in the option of lines, you can see the colors. So what colors you are going to choose, and then you can see the extensions. What is the extension lined beyond your dimensions? So that you can see here extensions of your dimension line. So how much extensions you want to keep, and colors you can see it, and line types and line weightage. So what is the line weight and line types? This also can be controlled over here with the different types of options with line weightage. The next part which you want to know is all about your symbols. So symbols and arrows. So in symbols and arrows, what should be notable is your arrowheads. So what is your arrowheads you are going to use, and then you need to know about arrow size, and then you need to know about what is the dimension break lines. So this we can choose it if required, right? Further that you will be going to text. So in the text, what you're going to see is all about, again, notable things are text style, which should be matched with your previous text style, and text color. If you want to know, you can go for fill colors and text colors, and automatically you can get the text height also. Once the step number 1 is done, automatically you can see the text height will be freezed. The next part which you want to understand in primary units. So this is important. In primary units, what should be noted? So in primary units, first of all, you should know about the unit format. What is the unit format you have fixed for your diagram? So this is related to step number 1. What units you have fixed, according to that unit format, we can go ahead for unit formats. The next part which you know is all about the separators. So what is the decimal separators? So how you want to choose the decimal separators. So over here you can see command, period and space. So period is the point, decimal points, which is required. Comma we don't use basically, so we use the periods. So according to that we need to choose it. The next part is all about the alternative units. So you want some alternative units, then tick mark on alternative units. So you can see that in alternative units. Suppose you are making in meters, but you want to see that dimensions in feet. Then you can choose this as a engineering or architecture. Then you can see that in a dual part, that is alternative units will be activated. So that's all over here. So let's do this in practically now. So I'm just going to the lines. So just default colors I'm going to use. So I'm not changing any line weight over here at present. So go ahead for next tab, that is symbols and arrows. Over here you can choose the arrow size, because right now we are in meters. So let me give 0.20 and check your arrow size is visible. If it is not visible, you can slightly increase. Okay, the next you want to know about text. So this text style, your name should be visible over here. This is related to the previous step which you have done. So go for text style, and then text colors. If you want the text colors, you can go for some different types of text colors. You can use it if required. So presently I'm not going to use. Okay, next part, if you want to fill colors, so backgrounds, so you want some fill colors, you can use this also is required. Okay, now automatically you can see the text height is being freezed. Okay, so these are the things. So again you can change. If you see this is very high, you can keep it as 30 as arrow size. Okay, now you can see this, sorry, 0.30. Okay, so these are the things. The next, if you go for primary units, so I am using decimal since I am doing in meters, so I'm just taking decimal. So it will be as it is. The periods are comma, so you can see this comma or period. So go for period, that is for decimals. Now alternative units. So if I want in meters or in feet or inches, I can go for alternative units as engineering and architectures. So I can check that in architecture, feet and inches will be visible for me. Again, precision, decimal, how much decimals you need, you can go ahead. So presently I'm not going to use my any alternative units. So I'm just unticking, click OK. Now done. Important thing, set current. Always don't close immediately. Make sure that you give set current and then you go for close. So repeating again. So first of all you need to do the set current and then only you need to close the window, right? So set current is done, close it. Now dimension is also done. The next part which you want to know about leaders. So leaders is required especially when it is necessary to make some specific identification or specific mark in your diagram. Then leaders and multi-leaders will be helpful for you. Let's go there. Go here for the leaders. So once you click on the leaders, you can see again same similar kind of step. So new, you can give your name, then continue. Once you give continue, again here are some 3 tabs are available. So that is leader format, then you have leader structure, and then content. Again, few important things to be focused under the content. So let me start with content and arrow size. So first of all, leader formats. What is the size of the leader? So what is the size of your leader or arrow marks is required? So you can give your arrow mark size, what is required, and then go for a straight. So we are not using any spline lines or anything. So spline is especially used for any kind of bended shapes, or this that is called spline. So we use straight lines. Again, colors you can modify. So leader structure, what is the maximum leader points you want to keep, or landing distance, how much distance this landing distance is required. You can decrease or increase the landing sizes. Okay, next part is important here. Let's go for content. Over here you need to notable things is one important thing, that is your text style. So the text style which is required to be identify what type of text style is required. So because we already worked with my text style, so automatically my name will be visible. Just click, automatically the text height, everything will be applicable here. Now click OK. Now again repeating, set current, and then close. Okay, so we have done with all these 5 basic settings. So now let's go for the drawings. So these are the things which you know about, basic overview. Now let's show you about a DWG file and DWT file. Okay, now see how it is going to work. Now I have setting, all this setting is done. Now I just go here, file, save as, drawing template. So I repeat again. So when you go for this point, so repeating again, so go for file, save as. So here you need to change it as drawing template. So you can change that as drawing template. Drawing template. So once you click on DWT, drawing template, it can be used to create a new drawing. So with same set of inputs. So you don't want to waste this much time in next drawing. So let me show you the example. Click it. Now go for that saving. So I want to give my Ganesh and my meter template. So I'm saving as meter template. Click save, yes. So it will be saved. Okay. Now this is DWT file. This is DWT file. But if you are starting a new diagram, basically this will show as a DWG file. So here if you started with the DWG file, and when you go and see the text style, nothing will be available. So this is the basic difference between drawing template and drawing file. So again, now it is in drawing. So now you want to create again. So don't do this kind of waste of time. So create templates, keep it separately. So when you have drawing templates, your time will be saved very easily. So now I'm just going to click my drawing template. So I'm just going to call my drawing templates. So let me open my drawing template. So here you can change it as drawing template. So on my desktop it is there. I'll just recall it. So drawing template is activated. Now I can see all my settings are available in my drawing template. So now I can save this drawing template in form of drawing. Now I will convert the drawing template in form of drawings. So as a drawing file. So now I'll change this to drawing file. Save. So this is how it works. So when you go and see in the desktop, you can see 2 files are available. So you can see drawing templates as well as this part. So these are the options which you need to understand in drawing templates. Now coming to graphic settings and reset options. So what is this graphic settings and reset option? So this will be helpful when you face some problem in your drawing files. Some errors are coming, some tools are not visible to you. Many number of students face problems in settings. So some toolbars might not be available. So in such case, this options is highly useful. And also some basic graphic settings, that is a black background or white backgrounds, which background you want to use. So these are the things which you can operate by using a graphic settings and reset option. So I'll show you demo now. Go back to the AutoCAD. So just clear. Now over here, as I said, menu bar. So we need a file menu bars. So go for file menu. Here is a menu bar, show menu bar. Click on it. Here you can see the tools. Click on tools. Again go to the options. Once you go to the option, the notable thing is display. So two things is to be noted here. One is display and second one is a profile. So two things you can easily note. One is display, another one is called profile. So let me deal with profile. So first I go with profile, display, dark or light. So which background themes you need. So suppose I give light background and I apply. Now you see these colors will change as a light background. So only the theme has been changed. So not the screen workspace color. So this is called theme. So when I change to light or dark, only the outer themes of my AutoCAD has been changed to light version. So if I go back to dark, again I apply. Now you can see the difference on the screen. So this is called the theme which you want to work. So similarly, if you put in light and over here you see colors. So which colors you want to choose for your workspace. So the interface or workspace color will be changed by controlling this option. So now I want to change this in white background color. So now this workspace I need in white background color and change to white background. So that is uniform background. Then click apply. And also you can see control for sheet or layout or 2D sketch, 3D sketch that you can control over here also. So I'm just controlling with 2D models with white background, apply and close. Now apply this, close this window also. Now you can see that complete part, the background has been changed to white. And now you can control this part with grids on, off. This way we can do it. So this is how your graphic settings and reset option will work for you. Next, let's go for drawing toolbars and basic command functions. What this? So before going that, let me reset to black background. I feel comfortable in black. So again repeating, that's quickly we'll do it. So I'll just go to dark and just go for black. Apply and close, apply and close. Okay, so I forgot to say one thing here, that is profile reset. So what is a profile reset? So go for toolbar. So now don't reset because we are driving on our topic part, drawing templates. So here is option. If you feel any uncomfortable in drawing sheets, just here is option called profile. So I'll show you here. Go to the profile and then just click on reset button. Just click on reset button. So every settings will be refreshed and it comes back to a default drawing tools, drawing sheet, right? So these are the things. Presently I'm not doing it. You can try if you want. Okay, like next, going back, I'm moving to drawing tools. So what is drawing tools? So I want to draw some sketch in AutoCAD with certain kind of toolbars. So what are the toolbars you have? So we have line, we have polyline, circles, arc, rectangle, circle, again hatching tools are there. Apart from that, we also have some spline and construction line, x-ray. All these options are available to make a drawing. So this is a revision clouds, or these are the donut shapes, or you can use this. So these are some kind of drawing tools which you can show. I'll show you a demo. So click on line, so you can draw the line and press enter. And then again polyline, you can see continuation of lines will be there. So there is a continuity of line sketch. Now this is a line and this is a polyline. Now see the difference. If I select the line, so this is only one element. So let me draw it again. So this is a line option. So now this is a line and this is a polyline. So what difference here is, once I draw the line, you can see these are individuals. These are individual line. So I need to select all the individual lines, then only all the individual lines will be selected now. But whereas in polyline, you click anywhere, this is converted as one object. So this is considered as a one object. So that is called polyline options. So this is how you need to understand the line and polyline, where you need to use line and polyline. So basically when you are doing a civil engineering drawing, we prefer to go with polyline, and certain case we use a line option also. So it depends on the user how you are making the diagrams, right? Next, we also have circles, various options of circles, how to draw a circle, that is center radius or a 2-point circle or 3-point circles. So 3-point circle is basically you want a start point, or you want to give a second point, or you want to give a third point. The circle will be prepared as per the points which you are given. So this way we can create n number of options for circles. Also you have a center or diameters. So what is the center you have? So specify the center point of a circle. So suppose I need a center point here, then it will ask you what is the radius, specify the radius. So immediately you can see in the command, so specify the radius of the circle. Suppose I give radius as 25 meter. So the circle has been made for 25 meter. So now present it is out of the region. So press zoom and A. I think I didn't draw. Let's do. Select the center point and make 25 meter. So 25 meters is very small. So that's here. You can see this. So right. So this is how it made a circle here. Right. Next point which you want to know is all about arcs. So arcs also we have different types of arc, that is a 3-point or start end or center angle or start center length. So various options are there. Again, center start angle, center start end. So these are I'll be seeing one by one in later on part. So this will be helpful by exploring yourself. So you can explore yourself by start end angle. So if you see some start end angle, so this is a start and this is the end. What angle you need? So you can give some angles. So I need a 25 degree. So you can give an angle. So this way the arc will be created. Similarly, you can go and start end point. So suppose you have 2 points. This is a start point and this is the end point. So your arc will be created up to the end point. So these are the ways of drawing arc. So again, start 3 points are there. So you have some 3 points in the sketch. So this is the first point. This is the second point. So where you want to keep, so you can keep the circle. So this is the way arcs are formed. So when you come into a real picture, so this will be understand how to draw the arcs and part. The next we also have rectangles, then we have circle and ellipse, all these are there. Then hatching tools are there. So right. So next part which you want to know about modified tools. So I'll teach you modified tools in a part. So when it comes into action, right. Then come down, we also want to know about some basic commands and function keys. Yes. So what are these basic commands and function keys? Basically, when you go for some options, that is your snap nodes. So what is this function keys and snap node options? So over here you see the model point. So there are various options are there. If you see here, this is ortho, and you have object snap and polar trackings, and you have object snap, and then again, so right click any one of this. So you can see the numbers over here, that is called function key. So F8. So if you observe very carefully, there is a word called F8. So you can identify very clearly. So next F11 is there. Then if you see about grids, so for grid is there F7. So these are some kind of function keys which will be used in your AutoCADs. So let's see this grid. So when you put off, the grids are completely off now. So when you click on, the grids are visible. The next point which you want to know is all about grid setting. So you can do the grid setting. What is your grid spacings are there? So if you want a spacing of 10 meter by 10 meter, and you can adjust accordingly, or you want 20 meter by 20 meters, you can do all this grid spacings. So this way we can go for X spacings, and also here also we can do the grid spacing. So 10 or 20 for a part. Next point which you want to know is all about ortho. So ortho, I will tell you what is that ortho. That is nothing but 90 degree. So your line want to be a 90 degree, or it can be a bended apart. That way we can control this ortho options. Then most important thing that is called object snap tracking. So focus on here. So that is object snap tracking. So what is this object snap tracking? So it's easy to understand here that the function key works is F3, and also tracking on is F11. So what is this F3 does? So once you tick mark this object snap, so what it is highly doing? So notable things is F3 and F11, and also select all. So best go with select all. So what is this option? So over here if you see these options, that is you have endpoint, sorry, you have some part that is endpoint, then midpoints, you have center point, then you have a quadrants, or you want to see the nearest points or any extensions. So all these are parallel lines you want to identify. So all this can be highly useful once you select all. Just select all and then click OK button, so that the object snap will be activated in your drawing. So I will show you this in practically now. Click OK and clear this. Right, now let's see that. So I'm just going to take a line. Now ortho is off. So once I take a ortho off, now you can see the line can be drawn in any inclined shape. So like this, like this. But when I put ortho on, now the line can be drawn only in 90 degrees. It can't bend or it can't have any angles. So that is the option of your ortho on or ortho off. Next point, which as you saw that object snap, that we have activated every point. So now click on the line. Now it is easy to identify your midpoint. So it helps you to identify what is the midpoint and where it is. Similarly, nearest point, if we go for some nearest point, start point or end point, so it helps you to show some nearest points, where is the nearest points are there. So these are some options which you have. So you can select this point and you can draw a line to the nearest point, or you want to find out some midpoint in this line, so you can find the midpoint in this line. So now I want to find a midpoint of this line, so you can see this and you can do like this. So this way we make a sketch by using the object snap settings. So that is the useful things which you want to use it. So further that, what options you want to use is all about your modified options, that is cut, trim, mirror, all these things. So that I will show you in the next video. Thank you.